welcome back to another episode of WHOSAY. I'm your host for today. I am Jeevan and I major in law.
I'm Nathanael. I am a graduating student from Arts and Social Sciences doing psychology and social work. And I'm also part of the NUS Varsity Team for Floorball.
All right.
I'm Jassy, a Year 2 business student, and I'm part of the NUS Varsity Team for table tennis, and I was also the captain.
I'm Christy. I'm the Assistant Dean for Office of Student Affairs and I manage sports.
Ooh, okay. So everyone here is involved in sports, huh? So, well, on my end, I don't really play sports for NUS, but I do play recreationally, and so I join my friends for their Friday games of football. And I really enjoy that. It teaches me a lot about myself as a person when you're trying to work together as a team, even though it's not, a real game, a professional competition. Even in that setting, it's still really nice to work together and get everyone to rally together and persevere for that win. It teaches you a lot about working with each other. On the same hand, it also teaches me a lot about myself because when I have to work as part of a team, I have to bring my own contribution in. And I love doing that and then seeing the instant result. Even if we lose, there's always something good to take away, that camaraderie that we have amongst ourselves. So is it the same for you guys, when y'all are playing competitively as it is for me when I'm doing it recreationally?
Yeah, I think definitely. I would say that maybe competitively it's just there's a bit more that's demanded or required of you because you're playing officially representing the school. But I think all those elements of teamwork, communication, individual contribution, they are all the same. And I think sports is also a great way to build character and discipline through training, through playing competitively, through interactions with teammates, your coaches, and also the people beyond.
Wow.
I think building on his point, he mentioned a bit about teamwork, and I feel that because for table tennis it's like a team sport, so when we compete, we will have everyone behind you to support, and then it really gives us a very good team spirit. And even when we are losing behind, we will have someone there behind us to support us, so it really gives us the push that we need also. And other than that, I think through sports it really taught me a lot about discipline, because you're so very busy with uni and then also sports, so it really forces us to be very disciplined so that we can have a good balance of both as well.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Finding the time for it when I play with my friends and stuff it's already hard enough. And I can't imagine you guys have to train and have to actually dedicate the time for it, how you all have to manage your studies and all of the other group assignment expectations apart from coming and showing up for practice and training as well. It must be pretty intense for you guys, huh? Do you guys lose sleep over that sort of thing?
I think personally, the time management and the commitment would probably be one of the biggest aspects of committing to a sport. But I would say I think a good amount of time management is required of you when you commit to something. And I think as with any with any commitment to something, you need to plan ahead of time. So I guess, yes, maybe there are times where you lose sleep, but I think passion keeps you going. So yeah.
I think definitely feel the same way. It's a good outlet for us to relieve stress. And then it's also because I get to meet my friends also, and we're sort of going through the same thing together, so you know that you're not alone as well. Yeah, so I think for me, although I'm already very stressed with school, and I also have some hall commitments as well because I stay in hall, but having a dedicated time for us to relax is quite stress relieving.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? When you're playing sports, you have a community there, and I think that's the big value that playing together brings for us. Everyone's sharing this experience, and all of us together, we are. Even though sometimes we lose, you still have that support that comes from your teammates, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day because you still come out feeling a lot better, coming together, the camaraderie that exists there. And I think that's a major plus point of playing sports because it becomes a sort of a third space for everyone. Outside of classes, your internships, all that stuff. It's a place where everyone comes together and does something completely different, yet together. And that forms for us a social circle outside of the typical ones that we would have, which would be where you work or the classes that you go to. I mean, that's primarily where we form our friendships, right? So outside of that, this is something completely different and unique for us to also build friendships around. And through this, I think we meet people from all walks of life, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think definitely. I would say in the team that I play in, it's almost everybody is from a different faculty pursuing a different major. And so I think there's really like a diversity of personalities that come together. And I think beyond that also, I think that element of community building is very strong because these are people who you see many times throughout the weeks for many hours, and everybody is here committing to the same cause, pursuing the same goal together as a team. So I think that bond of friendship and also of camaraderie really developed and blossomed over the 4 years that I have played the sport. So yeah.
Joining sports and interacting with people from different faculties, it helps me be a lot more informed of what's going on in the rest of campus. It really becomes a massive social leveler, and it helps me connect with the rest of the community here. So, I just want to ask you, is that something that NUS wants to aspire to?
Yeah, absolutely, right? So I think coming from OSA, I do think that one of the visions that we have is that all our students actually participate in sports. And exactly like what all the points have said by Jassy, by you, as well as by Nathanael, I think sports is actually something quite basic in the sense that it's getting yourself into some kind of physical activity, like get your body start moving, getting out of your comfort zone. And most of our comfort zone these days would be, just hang out somewhere, chilling, either in the cafe, in the hall, in our rooms, using our phones, can't get our eyes off the screen these days. So I think really getting out there and just doing something with your bodies is actually pretty good. Whether or not it's a team sport, I was also part of a team sport. So I totally get the team spirit and, getting to know people and meeting people and, doing some social networking as well. But even individual sports, like, just running on campus, just running around, or even just walking from, FASS to maybe science, or going to another canteen to have a meal, something like that. I think that is really at the core of what we hope everyone get into. And the reasons for that is really what you have mentioned also and what the rest have mentioned, which is really that there are a lot of values that we can learn from sports. And it's something that we also learn through play. So for those of us who play team sports, we know you get to play. Like you actually have to play something. There are rules. And sometimes we are not happy with what the referee has called.
Right.
It's like, it's a clear out, why is it called in and stuff like that. And so there are all these pieces that come together. And there's, like what Jassy said, maybe just to catch on what she said, it's a lot of discipline. So even the practice, like you said, of going for your soccer match with your friends or your buddies every Friday, to just put that aside and to just keep to that, or going for trainings like Nathanael said, it's not easy, to train 4 times a week or 5 times a week for national team members, right? So I think that discipline on trying to keep at something, it's really something that we sometimes don't see in sports, but it is part of sports. So I think we really hope that every student, even every staff, would participate in sports, and that this whole campus can embrace that.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a lot that the individual can gain from participating in a sport and just playing. Is there a way for us to take that, perhaps, the benefits, and kind of put it out there, give it to the world through sports? Is there a way, you guys think that can be done?
Yeah, I think there really is. I would say that sometimes it's easy being like in our own silos whenever we play individual or team sports. And it's easy to stick within the same community, not really explore so much. After all, it's within our comfort zones. But I think something that increasingly many sports in NUS are starting to focus on is this community aspect of service learning also, and community involvement with the sports. So not just being within our own communities of sports, but also bringing that to other communities out in society, out in other organizations. And I think I might be able to say something on this because the NUS Floorball team did do a community project with the Prison Fellowship. So I think what we wanted to achieve from this was in a way to bring our sport, bring floorball to a bit more of to the underprivileged children, maybe with who have incarcerated parents. But it's also a way for them to learn a new sport, pick up something new, and also a way for them to expand their own friendships and communities outside of the people who they are already used to. So I think one of the biggest takeaways for me was that I think sometimes it's also easy to come in a community service aspect as like, oh, okay, I'm going there to teach people something. But I think the learning is two ways, you know, like we were there to teach them how to play floorball, but through them we also learn simple things like how to humble ourselves, how to just be there with them, being present in the moment, learning to nurture the younger generation, to guide them, to lead them, and then also to listen better. I think sometimes we go there with just the intention to teach them, but actually there's so much more in that relationship that you build with them within that small fraction of time. So you really learn more about their stories, the people that they are trying to be, their aspirations, their dreams. And I think ultimately we are also there as encouragers to nudge them along that journey. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so basically, even while you're trying to get that benefit out there and pass it on to someone else, you're still benefiting in other ways as part of that process.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you got to have that exposure and learn all that. And I think talking to you guys and learning about your experiences playing sports has sold me on wanting to further my journey in sports. So I'm gonna wanna take the extra step and really like try and join something proper, be more consistent. But then I look at everyone who's playing sports and then I feel like what, these guys are so good and it's so competitive and it's just it's next level stuff, and I'm just a beginner, I can't join these sorts of things. So how do I get involved if I'm a student here in NUS and I'm like, what, that sport looks really cool, but I'm not so sure if I have what it takes to get up there.
I think like what your concern is quite valid because for us, for our table tennis team, it actually has a lot of like national players, and all those, even though like they stopped playing competitively, they are still like playing for the school. So it's quite intimidating as an outsider as well. But for us, for our table tennis team, what we actually do is we have like recreational clinics. So what we actually do is we get our team members to come down and share like the basic points of table tennis and what are some beginner skills that people like you who have not really tried the sport before, how they can pick it up and also learn as well. And also recently we had, in the previous semester, we had a learn to play clinic as well. So that was more long term for one whole semester. And then at the end of the semester, after we have taught them like a lot of more advanced or intermediate moves, we actually let them play competition among themselves to see how they fare and also what's their progress from the start of the session towards the end of the learn to play session as well.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys have created different sessions for recreational players as opposed to those who are like yourself, part of the varsity team, right?
Yeah.
And how often are these sessions?
Usually we have them once a semester.
Once a semester. So I've actually been part of a recreational aspect of a sports club, which is canoe polo. And they have their recreational sessions, I believe, twice a week throughout the semester. Perhaps they ended off during the exam season. And I've been a part of, at least I've joined a few of their sessions because, it's hard to find time. But in those sessions, I've had so much of fun because it's really no obligation. You go there, you get the paddles, you get the canoe. Half of the time, you're just capsizing in the water and trying to come back up. But that's really the fun of it. Because where else will I get to try something like this at no extra cost to myself, right? So that's what I love about the recreational aspect of sports clubs. And is this a thing that all of the sports clubs are doing, Christy?
Yeah, so I mean, I think you're quite spot on. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the university hopes to not only try to enable and empower high performance sports. We definitely really welcome all the recreational sports. I think we have a lot of CCAs in total, and among all the sports CCAs, we definitely have a good mix of both competitive sports as well as recreational sports. And there's really, I think we are grateful to people like Jassy and Nathanael who go the extra mile and to make it more enabling for any student to come and try a sport. Yeah. So there's kind of like, learn to play table tennis, there's canoe polo, and I think there's a pickleball one that's coming, and there's quite a lot. I think there's even one that learning how to swim, or all sorts of CCAs or sports CCAs on campus that is trying to have both a competitive arm and a recreational arm. And on top of that, I think in the last 1.5 years, there has been quite a lot of initiatives that were started by the university to kind of provide, like in your words, the third space, or that space, a real space. So there's the Wednesday afternoon off, which we try to make it as possible as for every student to have a time off so that they can go and participate in something, hopefully sports, because we're all biased here, we're all involved in sports in some way. But if it's not sports for whatever reason, it can be anything else. And then there's a kind of a banner that's called Dabble and Discover, where really there's, like you said, no obligations. You're really just there to try out something new, come out from the comfort zone. If I don't know how to play floorball, I'll go and try floorball. If I want to get capsized, I go and join canoe polo. It can be anything, and it doesn't need to be sports as well. So all sorts of workshops that is tried to be positioned on the Wednesday afternoon off. And because everything can happen on Wednesday afternoon off as well, so it's kind of like a starter, like an initiator, a bit of a catalyst to kind of get people started. Yeah, so absolutely.
Yeah. No, you talk about pickleball, right? I'm actually part of the group, but I haven't actually attended the sessions. But I've seen all of the sessions that they've had, and they've got the beginner sessions where they teach you how to serve, how to hold your rackets and all that, all the way down to actually having the matches at the end of the entire session. So a little bit like what you described. But, and it's really nice actually to see NUS Pickleball doing that, because from what I understand, they actually have managed to build a whole community around this, and they've actually connected with people outside of NUS as well who play recreationally, and there is an intermingling. So the community is actually getting bigger just over learning how to play pickleball. So really the community aspect is, it's really hitting the nail on the head on that front. But there's so many sports that I can try, right? Where do I go? What's my starting point in trying to find out what there is out there and what to try out?
Well, we can ask Jassy and Nathanael how they got to their sport. But for me, I think if you're a new student, or today you decided to try something new, a good place to start would be to just go online. I know I did say take your eyes off the screen, but it is the easiest way to find something that you think will match you. If not, Jassy and Nathanael is here, so you can definitely try their sports. Yeah. I think something nice, and the canoe polo that you suggested, and pickleball that you're part of the group. Just try something. I think just get out there, get some, cheap and good gear, and then just get started. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you talk about Jassy and Nathanael here. They're sports leaders, right? So the first place that you can probably meet them is Student Life Fair.
Yeah.
Where all of the student leaders are going to be setting up booths, showcasing what sports or clubs they're representing and what they're all about. You guys must be a little bit stressed, with the new juniors coming in, and you must be looking forward to that, right? With planning of activities and things like that, right?
Yeah, so I remember when I first came in as a junior, I was quite scared, especially it was a new environment, so I didn't really know anybody. And going to training was quite intimidating also, because you're training with people that are older than you and you have never spoke to them before, so that can be quite scary and may even deter the juniors from going to training. So I think like as a leader, what I actually try to do is try to bridge the gap between the seniors and the juniors and have more like team bonding events, or even try to talk to them first and be more friendly towards them so that they don't feel scared and they will feel actually more welcome into a new environment as well. And I think like being a captain really allowed me to grow as a person as well, because I'm someone that was quite scared of challenges in the beginning. I used to shy away from challenges as well. But I think being a captain really pushed me to like step up and rise up to the occasion as well. So like in the recent competition, when like my point was like the most important, the most crucial point and the deciding factor, I felt that I had to play my part as a leader and as the captain of the team also. So it really like pushed me to stay strong and also do well for my team also. So I feel that in this aspect, having a leadership position really allowed me to grow.
Wait, Jassy, you are a community sports scholar, right? I remember interviewing you.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, so for the community scholarship, it was actually quite beneficial towards me. So there's actually a lot of benefits, like the tuition fee is covered. And then for those who are looking to stay in school or on campus, it's actually covered by the school as well. And then on top of that, they will also give like allowance every semester. And another beneficial area is like having workshops. So whatever you're interested in, whether it's sports injury or physiology or psychology, there will actually be workshops for you to attend. And you can actually speak to all the sports advisors. They are really friendly and a good community that you can reach out to for help.
Oh, wow. So you're saying like there's actually a lot that you benefited yourself as well in trying to benefit even your juniors. You know, NUS is really, really supporting this. You know, as you're contributing as a leader and giving to the NUS community through sports, they're also, you know, alleviating some of the stresses that you may have and some of the burdens that you may have on yourself. And you know, it sounds like it's really, you know, it makes that journey, that experience of building into that community a lot easier as for students. And what about, say, you know, others who might be interested in applying for this scholarship or looking at it? You know, where can they find out more info? What's important to look out for?
Yeah. So I think that's a great question. I do always say at the interviews to all the prospectives that I wish I could give scholarship to all of them, because to be shortlisted, to be interviewed, actually they must have done really well, either in high performance sports or in contributing back to the community, or just contributing back to our own community in NUS to create something that is an elevator or something that is an enabler to all students. So there's also other forms of student life scholarships, like the performing and visual arts, as well as community impact scholarships. So they're all under the umbrella term called student life scholarships. And we really hope that our scholars are going to be like our best role models. And it doesn't mean that they have to always be successful in everything that they do. Actually, we really honor their journey more than anything. Yeah. And so if there's anyone who's interested, I would say the best place to find out more information would be the WHOSA website, where you can find out more about how to apply and also what is the eligibility and all the information needed to become a scholar. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm really proud of what Jassy have done. And definitely what Nathanael has done. But his final year already.
Well, I think you guys set the path forward, right? You guys lead as an example to your juniors, and like yourselves, you guys have learned from your own experiences as juniors, and then factored that into how you guys lead your teams, as captains, of course, as scholars. But I think, when you guys set this example, your juniors then gain from it, and it becomes a cycle of like each new batch surpassing the other, doing better than the other, learning from their predecessors and then outperforming them. So it's a continuous process of growth, I believe. And I think the sports scholarship is gonna be a major boost to that endeavor. And really, I think from talking to you guys today, I think what I've learned is really sports is a massively powerful tool for building inclusive and connected student life on campus, and really learning from you guys, student leaders, they don't not just there to compete, but they're also there to build into that student life and build upon that community. And it's really nice to see that coming to fruition, and I'm looking forward to what is going to transpire a few years from now, how that's going to be further built. And really, it's really nice to see that the Sports Scholarship is also empowering students on that journey and really boosting that elevation and that journey forward for the NUS sports community. And I think that's a great note for us to perhaps bring this episode to a close on. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials, and we look forward to having you on our next episode of WHOSAY!